Amanda Seales boldly claimed that she and Candace Owens were worlds apart, dismissing any comparison as beneath her. But Candace, with her unapologetic confidence and razor-sharp logic, didn't just respond, she obliterated Amanda's woke pretensions. Watch as Candace Owens dismantles the noise with poise, proving once again why she's a powerhouse in any debate. From the very start, Amanda Seales set the stage with a scathing and dismissive rant about Candace Owens, referring to Candace as an idiot and asserting there was absolutely nothing in common between them. Seales made it clear she wanted no comparisons. Her reasoning? According to Amanda, any comparison was an insult to her education, authenticity, and values.
The obsession with you all mentioning this idiot's name with mine, not Roland Martin, this woman that you all keep mentioning with mine. Let's get something very clear today. There is zero things in common with me and Candace Owens. Literally nothing. And when you suggest that there is any reason why we should share space, what you're doing is, one, wildly disrespecting my education, my authenticity, and my value system. You are also giving her merit that she does not deserve and that is completely unearned.
What makes this so ironic is Amanda's own approach, leaning heavily on her Ivy League credentials as if that alone gave her an upper hand. But let's not forget Candace Owens doesn't need a prestigious degree to make her points land.
So Black Lives Matter leader just released a list of 10 things white people should give to black people. And I have to say, I haven't been ambitious enough in my letters to Santa. It's like all they've really accomplished is burning down black neighborhoods, pissing off police officers. Chanel would like white people who have no children to leave their homes to black or brown families. So like if you worked your entire life to be able to afford a home but forgot to procreate, and you're thinking, I'm gonna leave my home to my brother or my sister. No, think again, whitey. Number 2, she explains that if you inherit a home, so like if your mom died and she left you a house, you should just immediately give it away to a black or brown family because you will be able to earn that somewhere else down the line in your white privileged life. Her words, not mine. Number 3 is for developers. She wants you guys to build homes and let black people live in them for free. I don't see any economical issues with that.
Her ability to cut through the noise and directly challenge popular narratives has made her a force to be reckoned with. What Amanda failed to realize is that the strength of Candace's arguments doesn't stem from her credentials, it's rooted in her undeniable grasp of facts and her ability to reach people where it matters. Candace isn't about surface-level accolades, she's about real results. While Amanda clung to her degrees and acted as if they shielded her from critique, Candace focused on dismantling her claims with precision, proving once again why she commands such a wide and loyal audience. Watching this clash was a stark reminder of the difference between empty elitism and true impact. Amanda Seales' frustration with Candace Owens laid bare a striking contrast in ideologies. Candace has become a force by rejecting victimhood and empowering individuals to break free from narratives of perpetual oppression. Meanwhile, Amanda clings to woke rhetoric, relying on grievances that fail to inspire progress. Her claim that Candace's success comes from pandering to audiences who would never embrace her wasn't just baseless, it reeked of insecurity.
Can you help me understand this?
I wasn't ready for that.
Sometimes, and it's happened before, people in our community forget that they're black.
The bulb.
And they try to appease a group of people that's probably never going to embrace them. And once they realize that, guess who's the first group to take them back?
I don't know her.
You know, I ain't say nobody's name, Amanda. You don't even know who I'm talking about. Candace has given y'all her butt to kiss for 2 decades. And the moment, what they doing? They can't fire me, they can't fire me. The hell you say? Now look at her.
It's not her fault.
Whose fault is it? No. Let's not take that blame.
Let her back in.
Huh?
The spaces that let her back in.
Oh, okay. But that's how we are. We're very forgiving people.
Who taught us to be that? Them slave owners taught us that version of forgiveness. They gave us a Bible called the Slave Bible. And this Bible had parts of it taken out. It had the parts of uprisings taken out. It taught about forgiveness because they needed to make it okay in their minds.
Candace doesn't seek validation. She challenges groupthink and forces tough conversations. Amanda's critique only highlighted her inability to match Candace's clarity, confidence, and impact, solidifying why Candace is seen as a trailblazer while Amanda remains reactionary. While Amanda seemed desperate to paint Candace as inauthentic, all Candace had to do was point to her growing audience and undeniable influence. With every step Amanda took to belittle Candace, she unintentionally highlighted Candace's strength and clarity. Was Amanda's frustration truly about Candace's message, or was it rooted in the fact that Candace's message was gaining traction? Candace didn't didn't need to shout or over-explain. Instead, she let her results, her poise, and her unmatched confidence do all the talking. It wasn't just a rebuttal, it was a systematic takedown of Amanda's entire woke facade. One of Amanda's most controversial claims revolved around the idea that black children should avoid predominantly white spaces, such as schools, because it would supposedly harm them.
Like when some people are like, well, we should send our children to predominantly white schools because
they're better.
I'm
sorry.
Deserve a better education. And it's okay, that's one thought process. But the other thing is that you're putting your kids in a space where they're going to actually feel harm.
This perspective, steeped in divisive rhetoric, sounded more like a push for segregation than a genuine call for progress. Candace Owens, as always, brought a reality check. She has consistently argued that exposure to diverse environments is key to breaking down barriers and creating opportunities. And let's face it, Amanda's argument that black children would somehow be emotionally harmed in diverse spaces felt like an overreach. Instead of providing solutions, it perpetuated fear and division. Candace's perspective, backed by her own experiences and data, painted a much clearer picture of how integration can uplift communities rather than isolate them. Watching Candace tear apart this outdated ideology was as satisfying as it was eye-opening. The real turning point came when Amanda dismissed Candace's achievements outright, implying her success was somehow unearned.
What you're doing is, one, wildly disrespecting my education, my authenticity, and my value system. You are also giving her merit that she does not deserve and that is completely unearned.
This was a bold move, but one that quickly backfired. Candace Owens is a self-made commentator, author, and entrepreneur. She didn't rely on Hollywood connections or a pre-existing platform to gain her influence. Every bit of her success has been built on her unapologetic honesty, her dedication to free speech, and her ability to challenge the narratives that others shy away from. On the flip side, Amanda Seales has faced constant issues in her career, being fired, alienating colleagues, and failing to maintain a consistent presence in the spotlight. The stark contrast between Candace's thriving platform and Amanda's struggles couldn't have been more obvious. It was a textbook example of how confidence, consistency, and conviction can outshine empty rhetoric. Amanda's criticisms of Candace also touched on the idea of victimhood, and that's where Candace delivered one of her sharpest takedowns. Amanda leaned heavily into the argument that systemic barriers and injustices make it nearly impossible for many black Americans to thrive. But was Amanda truly addressing barriers, or was she perpetuating a narrative that holds people back? Candace wasn't about to let that narrative slide. She dismantled it with a confidence that was impossible to ignore. For Candace, acknowledging challenges is one thing, but letting them define your life is another. Her mantra has always been about empowerment, about rising above and not letting circumstances dictate your destiny. Candace didn't just counter Amanda's points, she obliterated them with a perspective that was equal parts raw and inspiring. She flipped the victimhood narrative on its head, turning it into a rallying cry for self-reliance and ambition. The difference between the two was glaring. While Amanda clung to grievances, Candace exuded the kind of energy that says, "You can't stop me." Her argument wasn't just about rejecting victimhood, it was about demonstrating the limitless potential of a mindset rooted in accountability and action. Watching Amanda's defensiveness crumble under Candace's relentless clarity was like witnessing a masterclass in composure and strategy. Candace didn't just win the exchange, she owned it, proving once again why she's a force to be reckoned with. This wasn't just a clash of ideologies, it was Candace putting the woke mindset in its place, and doing it with undeniable style. Amanda's inability to engage with Candace on this deeper level only underscored her own shortcomings. While Amanda's arguments seemed stuck in the same tired rhetoric, Candace's approach radiated confidence, innovation, and a fearlessness that left Amanda's position looking outdated and frankly fragile. Candace didn't just challenge Amanda's mindset, she obliterated it, showing exactly why she's become a defining voice in these discussions. Perhaps the most striking difference between Candace Owens and Amanda Seales is their approach to influence. Candace doesn't shy away from controversy or tough conversations. She knows her opinions won't please everyone, but that's never been her goal. Instead, she focuses on encouraging people to think critically and question the narratives they've been fed. Amanda, in contrast, seemed more concerned with maintaining her woke credentials than offering meaningful solutions. Her dismissive tone and reliance on identity politics felt like a desperate attempt to cling to relevance. Meanwhile, Candace's steadfast commitment to logic and accountability sent a message that resonated far beyond their exchange. By rejecting emotional grandstanding and doubling down on substance, Candace didn't just counter Amanda's arguments, she exposed them as hollow. It wasn't just a clash of ideas, it was a stark contrast between depth and performative outrage. This ability to cut through the noise with conviction and clarity is precisely what makes Candace a force to be reckoned with. While Amanda's comments stirred some fleeting chatter in niche circles, Candace's response resonated on a far greater scale, reaching millions and sparking widespread conversations about identity, accountability, and the evolution of black leadership. Amanda's attempts to diminish Candace's influence didn't just fall flat, they spectacularly backfired, driving even more attention to Candace's platform and amplifying her message of empowerment and progress. The glaring contrast between Amanda's emotionally charged, reactive arguments and Candace's sharp, calculated dismantling of those points was impossible to miss. Candace didn't just engage in the debate, she controlled it, setting a tone that silenced the noise and brought focus to substance. This was more than a debate, it was a showcase of why Candace continues to thrive in spaces where others falter. What made it even more impactful was how Candace turned Amanda's attempts at discrediting her into a springboard for emphasizing her core values. Her ability to redirect attacks and transform them into teachable moments is what separates her from the crowd. It's not just dominance, it's a masterclass in how to stay unshaken while reshaping the narrative. At its core, this wasn't just a clash of personalities, it was a battle of ideologies, a showdown between a mindset rooted in victimhood and one focused on empowerment. Candace Owens didn't just challenge Amanda Seales' woke mindset, she destroyed it, piece by piece, with facts, logic, and an unshakable commitment to her principles. Amanda may have started the fight, but Candace ended it decisively, leaving no doubt about who came out on top. If this epic takedown has you buzzing, don't just sit back, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your hottest takes in the comments. Candace Owens just redefined the art of debate, and there's more where that came from. Stay tuned for more fearless moments that shatter narratives and spark real conversations.